Alright everybody, welcome in. This is my territory battle phase 1 Mustafar full auto guide. Okay, disclaimer, it's not entirely full auto. Most of these things are full auto. The fleet mission, unfortunately, you can't really do full auto. So I'm gonna walk you through all the teams that I use on phase 1 of Mustafar and just kind of walk you through why it's full auto. And you know, there's many squads that will work in a lot of these cases, many ways to skin a cat. If you have squads that you use on full auto, go ahead and post them down below. I'm mostly interested in full auto squads more than anything, just because I'm a big fan of my time and I don't want to spend a bunch of time every single TB manually doing battles when there's a lot of full auto options. So again, if you got full auto options, post them down in the chat, because not everybody's going to have the same characters at all times throughout the game. So go ahead and do that, and I'll go ahead and compile them all into a spreadsheet, test them out myself, and we'll release a spreadsheet at some point with all the teams that you can use. Okay, so for starters, let's go ahead and get into the first battle. First battle, pretty plain and simple. It's Lord Vader, because you can only use Lord Vader on this mission. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit full auto, just like that. Okay, now it's a little interesting that, you know, there's so many different squads that you can use. Eventually we kind of run out of tunes that we can use. Okay, and with territory battles, it takes up a lot of time. That's the biggest thing. You know, the more teams that you have, the more things that you have to do in this game. So in some of these squads, I am going to be using territory battle Omicrons. I've decided, especially with my swearing off of PvP lately, I did win GAC today, but nonetheless, that, I don't know, territory battle Omicrons and conquest Omicron, well, at least Padawan Obi-Wan's Omicron, these seem like a good investment just because of the amount of time that you can get back with some of them. Now, the one you're gonna see in Mustafar phase, I happened to put Marrok's Omicron on, and apparently he just deletes things when you have his Omicron. And because he's already required at like Relic 7, you know, it becomes a more worthwhile investment because you're going to use him for 3 to 4 phases, right? So ultimately, it's a better value proposition. Now, in some of them, I think Arnold just made a video recently talking about using Enox. I don't actually know if he had the Omicron, but I think he did, for a Haven class medical station, you know. So it's just when you're putting the value on some of these Omicrons, yes, they're very tight in the beginning, and that is, it's understandable that you'd want to use those for certain things in PvP. But when you really think about it, they're not saving you that much in terms of PvP, and they don't often win you crystals. So that's just my 2 cents on the Omicrons. We're gonna go ahead and get into a different battle here. Now that Lord Vader took care of that, we're gonna go start with the left and go all the way to the right, and we'll conclude with the fleet mission, right? So looking at the left one, this is what I highly recommend you do. Go in and use these squad tabs. As you can see, I just got them all kind of lined out for the different planets. Save yourself time, people. Okay, so if you don't have Reva, you can do this with Grand Inquisitor, but it's just easier with Reva, obviously. Until you get Reva, you can go ahead and use Grand Inquisitor. The Inquisitors still typically do a good job of autoing this, especially with the Marrok Omicron. But yeah, so we're just going to use these 5, throw them in, and we're going to hit auto here. And watch, you'll probably see how Marrok deletes things. That right there is Marrok's work. So this Omicron, I mean, even if you could do it normally without the Omicron, it would still take longer. And ultimately what you're trying to buy back with these Omicrons is time. You know, the more I play this game, the longer it goes on, the more I realize that anything that you can do to save you time is probably a better investment than most things in this game, right? Think about how many Omicrons you have in PvP that you don't even use anymore, like what's her face's Zam's Omicron, Chirpa's Omicron. I know a lot of people have that. So whereas this, because territory battle ain't really going to change for the most part, like this team, once you got a team, it's always going to work. You know, that you're constantly saving yourself time every 2 weeks. Okay, well, we're off that. We'll go up to the top one now. And with this one, we're gonna go ahead and follow the guide. We got Supreme Little Kylo Ren with Rey. I used this before without Rey. It still works. There's a main reason that it works on this mission, and I'll show you why. It's because we get into the Geos in the next round. And if you're not familiar with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's leader ability, I think it is, whenever you remove turn meter, they gain 10% max health. And because the Geos take a little turn meter from him, eventually it becomes just like, you can't kill him. He becomes kind of unstoppable, you know? So you'll kind of see that in action in a second here. So even if everybody dies, it's completely fine, right? We're not in PvP, we're not in Conquest, we're not playing for stars here or banners. So it's all pretty simple and straightforward, even if people die. Just let it go on happen. And you'll see that a lot with a lot of characters, especially the GLs that will solo things, right? So we might not even get very far on this one just because they're all holding up. Ever since I added Rey, it's a lot more consistent, a lot more feels good, you know. And there's another thing to keep in mind, even if these strategies aren't 100% right, even if every now and then you lose one, which can happen, mostly it's because I forget to put mods on, or I have modded for, you know, the raid, and I forget that I have to remod my roster if I want to. Well, I don't have to, but I typically should remod my roster. But even still, the amount of time you're saving, like, it's not that serious. There's a lot of leeway, large majority of the time. Like in this one, honestly, we're at the stage where our team doesn't even need to do combat missions for phase 1. We can all just deploy, and with platoons we'll get 9 stars, but obviously not everybody is at that stage of the game, right? So we'll go ahead and go to the last mission, which I have another one that I want to use, but for the purpose of this has been working. I want to go ahead and use Tarkin with the dark side clones now that I have them, but I realize not everybody has that, but I will be showing that in the future at some point. So we're going to take in Talzin, Merrin, Nightsister Zombie, and then the 2 Nightsister bros. Nightsisters are really good for this planet because they stay alive. The computer doesn't always know how to handle the revive and Nightsister Zombie messing things up like that. So this is a pretty easy one to get away with. Now, when I was talking about it not being 100% all the time, where that's really going to come up is, I'm sure a lot of you have tried to beat the Mustafar fleet mission with Scythe and High Advance and different strategies, and honestly, I haven't found one that works all the time. A lot of people claim that things work better than others. So far, it's been incredibly hit or miss. So I'm going to attempt to show you one, but alas, if it doesn't work, don't sweat it too much. It don't really matter at the end of the day. But of course, if you have one that you think, you swear by, always works, go ahead and post it in the comments down below and I'll check it out and maybe we found a winner. It's really hard to practice with things like this because, well, we can't really practice. We get one time every 2 weeks to practice anything. So it's really the wisdom of the masses that we got to go off with, which is why I'm kind of releasing this video, because I've had a lot of people where they don't know how to do combat missions. They don't think about the teams. They don't know that there's full auto squads out there. So this becomes a lot quicker when you have full auto squads. All of a sudden, the hurdle that is doing territory battle combat missions kind of goes away if you have a strategy and you know it's going to be 15 minutes or whatever. Right now, I wish it could be 15 minutes all the time, but clearly that's not the case sometimes. So it's just a matter of, you know, giving people an option and then they can kind of go with it. And then they're more likely to do it in the future, right? When they have time. Or they're much more likely to see that they have time available throughout their week to go ahead and get these things done. Right? I've worked with a lot of people in my guild, come up with entire plans for them so that they can kind of get through these missions. Right? And at the end of the day, it helps add a lot of points to the board so that we don't all have to be on our A game. We don't all have to get every single battle won. We don't have to win 100% of our missions. And we can push higher. You know, we're one of the highest pushing territory battle guilds in the game. We're at 44 stars right now, and we'll be quickly looking to make our way up to 45. And then 47 range is probably where we're looking at, because we're looking to get Malachor. We're just waiting on getting the raid teams done. We're almost there. We're only 40 million away. from the max crate, and we think we're gonna do it this time, so pretty excited about that. Hopefully we can get it done even before Mace gets back here. If not, we'll definitely get it by the time he gets back here, but I think we have a lot of gas left in the chamber that we can go ahead and use, so we'll see if we can get it this one. But yeah, going up to 47 stars, it's a tough ask because it's a lot of R9s for the platoons. It's a lot of activity that we have to go ahead and commit to. And yeah, 1 star doesn't necessarily make or break anything, but it helps when you add 3 stars to it, right? And you start getting another gear to keypad or another 2 impulse detectors, another 150 crystals, right? Or maybe 75 crystals. I think it goes up 25 each time, but either way, all this stuff adds up, especially for something that is twice a month, right? We get those rewards twice a month. A lot of things definitely pay off. Right here, you can go ahead and see that because it's on auto, they are removing turn meter. You could just let it play. Most people will walk away or something. But you gotta, this can take a little bit longer just because of the turn meter removal. So you might want to be a little bit careful about that. See, just like that, remove the turn meter. So it'll eventually go. You don't have to use the Nightsister bros, but I have them. I figure use them, you know. They're a lot more fun, and it takes quite a bit the other way too, you know, if you're using Old Daka and Asajj Ventress. But anyways, they're all done. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into the Mustafar fleet mission, which is entirely hit or miss. Let's go ahead and again make sure you put everything here, come up with the plan, so that way you can go ahead and save yourself some time. So we're gonna be starting Sith Fighter, TIE Advance, and Scythe, because we have to start Scythe, but Sith Fighter is here because hopefully the strategy relies on them targeting Sith Fighter. There's certain tunes in this game, especially in fleets, where the AI just targets them. That's our hope with Sith Fighter. I think it usually works. And they'll go after Sith Fighter. Then we're gonna go ahead and pull out TIE Defender, and then we'll TIE Interceptor, and we might not get to these two. But we don't want to focus on the oh, and we're using Executrix, by the way, in case anybody missed that, not Chimera. Okay, so the strategy relies on not targeting the, what do you call it, this thing, the vulture hyena bomber, right? See how they went after Sith Fighter initially? That's kind of what you want. You don't want to target the hyena bomber because you have the droids. It's going to go ahead and reset that to 3 if you target the hyena bomber. So we're going to go over here and we're going to target Sunfuck with the basic. We're going to go ahead and use the special with the TIE Fighter. Now we're going to go ahead and call in the TIE Defender, right? And we'll go ahead and drop the stun on, we can go ahead and target hyena bomber right now with the stun, because TIE Defender didn't have any stacks, right? So with this one, we're just going to go ahead and use a basic to target Sunfuck. They're going to call in some stuff. Okay, well, it's not looking too great because that one got targeted instead of the TIE Fighter over here, but we'll keep up, try. I think it is going to go first, and then it's going to get eaten by the hyena or the hyena stacks. The whatchamacallit, the vulture droids, buzz droids. There we go. We'll go ahead and try to remove turn meter here, and there it goes. Unfortunate. Let's see if we can still salvage it. It may not be too possible. We don't need the buffs a bunch right now, so we'll go ahead and use the AoE. And then attack Sunfuck, and down it goes. Okay. Well, it sucks because we can't get rid of these stacks of overcharge, unfortunately. But again, the defender doesn't have any stacks of the buzz droid, so we're going to go ahead and target the hyena bomber. We'll go ahead and call in the interceptor here, making sure that we target the hyena bomber again. Use our second special. Go ahead and mark it, or whatever that's called, hunted. No, that's the first order, pursue target, right? Okay, no stacks of the buzz droids. We can go ahead and target hyena bomber. Oh, that sucks. Okay, this is not looking great. Okay, go ahead and keep targeting. Still no buzz droids. And let's see if we can get here. We need to make it to the AoE pretty much. That's what we're hoping for. But without cleansing the stacks with Scythe and everything, much less likely. Yep, that's the way it goes. Little bit of a bad note. I'll try again in 2 weeks and hopefully we'll have a different strategy. I'll try to hone that for you guys. But again, if you have a strategy that works, go ahead and leave that down in the comment section below. That's going to wrap it up for Mustafar. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to do another one for Corellia, another one for Coruscant. This whole territory battle, the idea is to go ahead and get a planet guide for each of them going. So we're going to get a lot of videos this week. Hope you're looking forward to it. Go ahead and hit the like button if you got value out of this. Subscribe to the channel if you want more guides like this. And then go ahead and hit that notification bell if you want to get notified when they go up. Thank you all. Have a good night.